Hello everyone, my name is Conroy, VP of Member Engagement here at Land O'Lincoln Credit Union. We're going to look at a few ways to help you get yourself out of debt. Let's look at creating and following a budget. When a budget is mentioned, most people think that means you have to deprive yourself of anything fun, and that is not the case at all. A budget is simply a roadmap to help you prioritize your spending. You can create a budget using an app, a spreadsheet, or even a piece of paper. You'll have different categories of spending: insurance, groceries, entertainment, and you'll fill in how much you spend each month or how much you're going to spend each month in each of those categories. You find you have your amount of income that you're working with and you're writing down all of your expenses on the budget and you find yourself negative, meaning there's more money going out than coming in, you'll need to start looking for ways to cut some of those expenses. So that leads us to knowing exactly what you're spending. More than likely, you know what you spend each month on rent or your mortgage. But if I asked you how much you spent on categories like eating out or entertainment, more than likely you wouldn't be able to give an exact dollar amount. So to find that out, to be able to fit it into your budget, one thing you can do is track your spending. Simply for a couple weeks, write down every single dollar that you spend, and that will give you a good idea of how much you're spending weekly in certain categories to help you fill that into your budget so you have a more accurate budget. You'll probably be surprised how much you spend on certain things. When you stop at the gas station, you go in to pay, you get sucked in. Candy bar, soda, all of those things add up. It's also a good idea to write down a list of all of your debts, whether it's credit card debt, loan payments, mortgages. Write down all of your debt with the interest rate and the monthly payment. It puts into perspective exactly how much debt you have, and it also helps you pinpoint and target which debts you want to start paying off first. For example, if you have two credit cards with a similar balance, and one has an interest rate of 35% and one has an interest rate of 12%, it would make more sense to start paying off that higher interest rate credit card first. Next, let's talk about putting everyday expenses on your credit card. If you're not disciplined enough to pay off your credit card balance each month, it may be best to leave your credit card at home. Having that with you gives you a false sense of having more money than you do. Your everyday expenses should be a part of your monthly budget and not something to put on your credit card. That just gets you further and further in debt. Next, let's talk quickly about not spending money you don't actually have. Again, this kind of goes along with credit cards. Items like furniture or a vacation, those are things that you can save for instead of putting on a credit card. For example, if you want to go to the Bahamas in 8 months and it costs $2,000, you would need to save $250 a month to pay for that trip instead of putting $2,000 on your credit card. So if that $250 a month is not feasible for you to save, you may need to push the trip out, giving yourself longer time to save, or look for a cheaper option. Another one which is really hard is saying no to your friends and your family. When you're trying to get yourself out of debt, you may have to say no when you're walking through the store and your kid asks for a toy, or they want to go through the drive-through at a fast food restaurant. Your friends or family may ask you out for dinner or ask you to go on a weekend getaway or a shopping trip. You may simply just need to say no. You may even find that you have someone that comes to you and asks for a loan, and you may need to tell them no while you're working to get yourself out of debt. And lastly, being prepared for emergencies. It is always a good idea to have an emergency savings account, so when some of the unexpected items come up, you have available monies to pay for those items instead of it being an emergency where you may need to charge on your credit card and put yourself further in debt. If you have money set aside, it won't cause you to go further into debt to take care of that emergency. So creating a feasible plan to get yourself out of debt may seem overwhelming, but you can do it, and our certified counselors are also here to help. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you want to regularly receive our notifications for financial advice videos, please like and subscribe to the LLCU channel below.